Republicans have no problem with a $740 billion defense bill. Wave that baby through, but COVID checks? Let's rein it back. This actually is not a situation of every Republican not wanting a check. This is a matter of Mitch McConnell not wanting a check. Even with many Republicans who are open to voting for a check, the problem is that they want something in exchange, right? And the thing that they want, that Republicans are asking for in exchange, is something known as corporate liability protections. What's that? Corporate immunity. And what do corporations want immunity for? A lot of corporations want complete immunity from their workers suing them for putting them in dangerous COVID conditions. You know, when a company tries to cram a bunch of people in physical space together but doesn't provide masks or doesn't provide adequate protections that are in line with CDC guidelines. So what Mitch McConnell said is that we want to give big corporations total immunity for 5 years from COVID-related lawsuits. Now, if we do that, if we accept that for a one-time $1,200 check or a super short expansion of unemployment insurance, the deal is that you're going to end up behind, because you may get one $1,200 check on one hand, but you may also get a multi-million-dollar hospital bill with no recourse and no ability to protect yourself from a negligent corporation or employer. And so that's not worth it, right? Your check is not worth your life. And so what we need to do is talk them down from that, right? I just think it's sad where it's like, why do you need to get something for helping your constituents? Why do we need to exchange people's well-being and ability to survive for yet another corporate bailout after we already, by the way, passed a $4 trillion leveraged fund for Wall Street in March? Frankly, like, that's why Republicans, I think, have been, not as, and why Mitch McConnell has not been in a rush, because Wall Street got an enormous bailout. I'm afraid that it kind of disincentivized them to come back to the negotiating table so that we could get more for working people. Whether that's true or not, I still think we have to see. Now, the current $900 package that is being negotiated has tiny unemployment expansion to the tune of about $300 and no stimulus check. Is that enough? Is that enough for you? Is that enough for your friends? Is that enough for your family? Is that enough for the people that you know who are struggling right now? $300 UI and no check? Is that enough? I don't think so. I don't think that's enough. I'm actually not this, I know Fox News, and not even just Fox News, plenty of other Democrats think I'm like this fire and brimstone, like my way or the highway, like blah, blah, blah kind of person. But the fact of the matter is I recognize that we need help, and you all need help. And so the current state of play is that we've got this package. It's got some state and local funding, not enough. It's got unemployment assistance, not enough, but more. Not enough, but still something. In order for this to, I think, push through, is with no funny business, no fine print, no taking stuff away in order to get people's relief, is that you just add the stimulus checks in. And so I support this, but also we're also seeing some movement in the Senate where Republican Senator Josh Hawley is in support of it. And these are people that we never agree with, pretty much polar opposite on almost everything. But both he and Bernie Sanders have introduced an amendment, and we're speaking on the floor of the Senate to add stimulus checks. The bottleneck is Mitch McConnell, and what we're also seeing is Steven Mnuchin with this proposal of exchanging one UI for another. And I never see this kind of austerity when it comes to Wall Street bailouts. I never see this kind of austerity when it comes to things that the absolute wealthiest people in our society demand. We only see this austerity. We don't even see this austerity mindset for the military, by the way. We are voting right now and have voted this year in committees and on the floor in advancing a $740 billion defense bill. Republicans have no problem with a $740 billion defense bill. Wave that baby through, but COVID checks? Let's rein it back. Unemployment? No. So this really isn't about fiscal responsibility at all. It's just not. It's about who's willing and who has the stomach to let people starve because they aren't affected, have never been hungry. I have no idea. But the very fact that this is even partisan is sad. And we have to really make sure, stimulus checks, it shouldn't be a Democratic thing, and it shouldn't be a Republican thing. It should be a pandemic thing. It should be a national disaster thing. It should be an emergency thing.